Hello. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's Pastor Malcolm in the afternoon. Well, almost afternoon. 2 more minutes and we're there. I wanted to touch base with you. We got a lot of things that are taking place here at Westminster United Methodist Church at Center&Main. And most of all, I wanted to encourage you to come and participate in worship with us as we've returned to live worship. And wanted to also encourage you to do and to remember to do certain things in preparation for coming to live worship here at Center&Main. You see, we've had some wonderfully dedicated people who have been coordinating our response to the pandemic and have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes in trying to prepare for Sunday morning worship. And we want to encourage all of you to be able to return as soon as you are comfortable to do so. We are showing that for those people who are registering in advance, that they are saying that about 60% of them have already received at least one of the vaccinations. A little bit more if you count in those people that are fully vaccinated, the number comes to about 70%. And as we anticipate more and more people feeling more comfortable with that, we also might become a little bit more lax about this. So there are certain things that I just want to reiterate as we're moving forward into live worship. First of all, we got some exciting Sundays coming up. We have Palm Sunday this Sunday. We have one service that is going to be held at 10 a.m. here at Center&Main. That will be streamed at the same time. And then on Easter Sunday, we're having a 6:30 a.m. sunrise service, and that's going to be held at my house. We live on a hill that looks towards the east. It'll be a pretty cool service. It'll be about 30 minutes long. But I encourage you, if you would like to come and participate in that, you got to arrive a little bit early so you can make the trek to our house. There's parking on the side of the street, but only on one side, and so you're going to have to make sure that that you go ahead and leave some room to walk in space, I guess you could say. There is also a service at 9 a.m. on Easter Sunday and at 11 a.m. Those services are exactly the same. We will be streaming the 11 a.m. service because we're celebrating that Jesus is alive, but we don't want to give away the secret until everybody at the live services haven't had an opportunity to participate. So, by the way, that's a joke if you missed it. But we'll be recording and streaming at the 11 a.m. service. So if you normally check in with us at 10 a.m., you might sit there and say, we forgot. We did not forget. You just got to hang around for 11 o'clock if you're going to be watching at home. So some things I wanted to cover. First of all, I want to thank all of those who have been working so hard and tirelessly in helping to prepare things for Sunday mornings here at Center&Main. Gail Dix has done a phenomenal job. Now, Gail has been constantly making sure that we have volunteers that are signed up, people at the doors, people to welcome people, people to make sure that everybody is registered ahead of time, and then people to help seat folks. And granted, it's kind of hard to make sure that we have enough people to help out with this ministry. I would encourage you that if you feel so inclined that you contact Gail and let her know that you'd like to help out. There are some things that we want to also make sure of, and that is when you plan to attend worship here at Center&Main, it is extremely important, vitally important. I don't know how to put a big enough exclamation point on this, but you must register in advance for the worship services. Now, a couple of people come in and they sit there and say, well, I knew you wouldn't let me and send me away, so I didn't bother registering ahead of time. Well, in some ways, that's not really being fair to the people who are doing so much to prepare everything. Additionally, we know we are limited on space in these coming weeks, particularly on Palm Sunday and on Easter Sunday. We can seat about 120 people inside our worship space that follows the guidelines to make sure that we have social distancing in between everyone. Families can sit together, families that live together can sit together, but other people are encouraged to make sure that you keep some space. Now, the easiest way to register is through the SurveyMonkey links that are sent out. These are sent to your cell phone if we have your cell phone in our database. They are also generated through the eHerald each week. They're also put on the Facebook page. And so through one of these mediums, you should be able to register. It takes you less than a minute to fill out the survey. And if you fill it out, we will know that you are planning to attend, and you can register those people that are living with you inside your house also as part of your registration. So you can pretty much register everybody all at once in your home, in your house, on through those links. Like I said, less than a minute. We all have a minute to give, so please fill that out. If you choose not to fill it out and you choose to come to worship at Center&Main, you're going to be asked to fill out a paper form detailing the questions that you could have answered on the SurveyMonkey and been pre-registered. Why are we asking you to do that? Well, one of the challenges we have is that in the event that somebody in our congregation has COVID or discovers that they have COVID and that they were in worship, we are obligated by law to notify everybody in worship that they have been exposed. Now, some of you already have your COVID vaccine or COVID messages that come to your cell phone if you've been exposed, but we are obligated to notify people. We can't do that if we don't know who's there. We do ask people to register when they come to worship through the telephone number 443-234-0806, but sometimes people don't register through that number. So that causes complications. So if you come and you have chosen not to pre-register, you will be asked to fill out the form prior to entering into the worship space. If you wish to sit with somebody, perhaps your family is coming from different places on a Sunday morning, we want to seat everybody together who wants to sit together. So what we're going to encourage you to do is to wait outside for your entire party. It's like going to the restaurant. We can't seat you until your entire party is together. Why are we doing that? Well, we try to seat from the front to the back. Now, I know some of you have been hovering in the back. You come in through the door and then you quickly jump into a pew. Do not do that in these coming weeks. The reason being is that we anticipate that extra people will be coming to worship. So we must see people from the front of the sanctuary back. There's nothing to be afraid of at the front. I'm up there all the time, and it's kind of a nice place. So I encourage you, follow the direction of the ushers. When you come through the door, you're going to be asked if you pre-registered. If you pre-registered, they'll be able to check your name off as well as those people that are with you. From there, you're going to be able to go up the stairs. We now have bulletins. They're just one sheet of paper. We encourage you to take the sheet of paper with you when you leave. But it will be there, and it will detail the order of worship. Once you come inside the worship space, you will be directed to an usher. When you go to the usher, do not give the usher a hard time. They're a volunteer. They're doing this because they love to be present in the house of the Lord, and they want to help you find a seat that will work for you and your loved ones. But we must seat from the front, because if you seat from the front first and you slowly fill towards the back, then what happens is that people will not be crossing over each other. And so the reason we're doing this is so that we can seat from the front and so that people are not passing and going around each other. We're going to ask you to enter through the center aisle, and when it comes time for us to leave, we're going to encourage you to leave through the side aisles. Now, when we leave through the side aisles, we're going to ask those persons who are seated in the last pews to leave first. And you see, this way, not a lot of people are crossing each other. Now, you've seen your friend Joe, and he's on the other side of the sanctuary, and the easiest way for you to go talk to Joe is to get up and walk across the aisle and around, and you see him and you start chatting and you're standing in the aisle. Well, that's just not going to work. So we're going to encourage you, wave to Joe and say, meet you outside after the service. So we're not trying to make this complicated, but we're trying as particularly in these next few weeks when we know we're going to be having a lot of people, to encourage people to be aware that we do have certain etiquette, if you will, during this pandemic season. So, when you come in, we encourage you to arrive healthy. We encourage you to have pre-registered. You pre-register through SurveyMonkey. It takes you less than a minute. You can register for your entire family that is living with you through that survey. After you've registered, you just come. Now, suppose you're not feeling well between when you registered and Sunday morning, please stay home. You'll be able to watch the service as it's being streamed. Then what would happen is that as you come in, you're required to wear one of these the entire time. If you come in and you're wearing your mask like this, you'll be encouraged to put it on properly, which is over the nose and the mouth. And if you choose not to wear a mask, then we'll just encourage you to please go home and watch the service through the stream, because we really have to make sure that we still continue to follow CDC guidelines, which is to wear a mask. Enter the sanctuary through the side or through the center aisle only, and the ushers will help you be seated. Now, some of you, as I've mentioned already, you've been grousing at the ushers because you want to sit in your old seat. There are no old seats. This is a new day. And so everybody has a new opportunity to sit in a new place. So listen to the ushers. If you proceed in and you sit yourself down really quick, we're going to encourage you to get up and to please follow the direction of the ushers. If you want to sit in the back, here's what you can do. You can wait outside until a lot of people have entered into the sanctuary, and then you're pretty well guaranteed to be sitting in the back. But we encourage you not to do that. We want everybody seated as the service starts at 11 o'clock. You're going to exit through the side aisles. The rear pews leave first. So it's sort of like last in, first out. We encourage you to chat with your friends, to visit, but not inside the sanctuary, not inside the narthex or the entranceway, but to do that outside before or after the service. Last, we just want to thank you for your cooperation. We're not trying to make a bunch of rules to make things complicated. We are not through this pandemic season yet, and there are already various variants to the COVID-19 which may complicate things. And so my encouragement to you is that to realize that we're still continuing to follow all the guidelines that we establish for whenever we return to live worship. And so this is the best opportunity for all of us to come together. So I put a link into this video already. You'll be able to click on that link immediately after this to register yourself to come to worship. It is safe to come to worship. On Easter Sunday, we're going to be working really hard to sanitize the sanctuary in that hour time between the two services from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And so those people that come later in the morning, you're going to see the same service at the 9 o'clock service, just a little bit later. We will cut off registration for those services once we reach 120 people. If we reach 120 people, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take more folks. So it's important to register early. I'll put the links for the Easter services in the comments of this Facebook Live feed. So I think I've covered everything. And if you are a little bit confused about what the sanctuary etiquette is, I'll copy and paste that into one of the comments as well so you can read that. Friends, we are, I would say, almost there. I mean, we all feel it. We all are excited about the opportunities to returning to worship and normalcy and not having to do all this pre-registration and not have to worry about the masks and stuff. But we have a little bit longer. And a little bit longer compared to what we've been through is okay. It's okay. So, this Sunday, Palm Sunday service, the link is already here. It's ready for you to click on it and register your attendance for that service. Easter Sunday, those services will be posted. We're not taking registrations for the 6:30 service. It will be outside. And we will encourage you to wear masks and to sit social distance from one another or stand that way. And we do have some midweek services next week on Holy Week. On Holy Thursday, we have what is the Stations of the Cross will be set up in the entranceway through the sanctuary, offering communion and also opportunities to pray. And that will be set up and available for people to come through from noon till 1 on Holy Thursday, and also on the evening from 7 to 8 on Holy Thursday. Good Friday service, we're going to be meeting at Belgrove Park. That's going to be weather dependent, but we encourage you to come out that at noon for the crosswalk at Belgrove Park here in town. All right, I think I've talked enough. I hope all things are going well for you this day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in church on Sunday. God bless now. Bye.